Breaking news, a lawyer says his client witnessed Congressman Matt Gaetz having sex with a minor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. That's where we begin with Florida attorney Joel Leppert just now sitting down with our Juju Chang to talk about his client's testimony to the House Ethics Committee. This interview now dropping as the committee is expected to meet this week to discuss whether it plans to release its ethics report, all centered around former Congressman Gaetz. Joining me now are Jay O'Brien up on Capitol Hill. All right, what else are we learning about the testimony from these two women, Jay?
Well, Kira, we know that the House Ethics Committee had been conducting this months-long investigation into Congressman Matt Gaetz, allegations of sex trafficking, allegations of sex with minors, allegations of illicit drug use, all things that Matt Gaetz denies. And we know that this investigation, while no longer happening, because Matt Gaetz has resigned from Congress in order to become Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, while the investigation has stopped, we've never quite known exactly what House investigators found and what is in this report that sources tell us was being compiled before Matt Gaetz resigned. Now we are talking to a lawyer who represented two women who spoke to the House Ethics Committee. He was in the room for both of those interviews. And here's what he said one of his clients told those House investigators.
At this particular event, what did your client witness?
So she testified in July of 2017 at this house party. She was walking out to the pool area and she looked to her right and she saw Representative Gaetz having sex with her friend who was 17.
Now, Matt Gaetz has denied he ever had sex with anyone under the age of 18 years old. We also know, according to sources, that a woman testified to the House Ethics Committee that Matt Gaetz had sex with her when she was 17 years old and in high school, and he was a sitting congressman. Again, Matt Gaetz has denied that. We also know that House investigators were looking into Venmo records and accusations that Matt Gaetz allegedly paid women for sex. Again, these are allegations that he denies. Here's what this attorney told our Juju Chang about that aspect of this investigation.
Both of your clients testified that they were paid by Representative Gaetz to have sex.
That's correct. The House was very clear about that and went through each. They essentially put the Venmo payments on the screen and asked about them. And my clients repeatedly testified, what was this payment for? Well, that was for sex.
We also know this attorney says that his clients told the House committee that they witnessed parties, that there were illicit drugs allegedly there, and then, of course, that they witnessed those alleged sexual encounters that Matt Gaetz has denied. Matt Gaetz has pointed to the fact that the Department of Justice investigated all of this and declined to bring criminal charges. And this hour, we are also learning that we have a statement from a spokesperson for the Trump transition team. Again, Matt Gaetz has been named as Trump's pick for Attorney General. That's why these allegations are getting renewed scrutiny and additional light. Here is what that statement says. I'm going to read it to you in full here, Kira. Quote, Matt Gaetz will be the next Attorney General. He is the right man for the job and will end the weaponization of our justice system. These are baseless allegations intended to derail the second Trump administration. The Biden Department of Justice investigated Gaetz for years and cleared him of wrongdoing. The only people who went to prison over these allegations were those lying about Matt Gaetz. Again, that according to a spokesperson, that statement rather, from a spokesperson for the Trump transition team, Kira.
So the House Ethics Committee is supposed to meet this week, supposed to meet on Wednesday. So as all of this starts to break and we're hearing from this attorney and we're getting more details from this attorney, I think that only adds to the pressure on the committee to release this report, its initial investigation into Matt Gaetz' behavior.
And there has been that pressure from Republicans in the Senate, Kira, on the House Ethics Committee to release this report. There are Republicans in the Senate who have said they want this report, or at minimum, they want to know what is in this report officially from the House Ethics Committee. They want to know what those House investigators found into Matt Gaetz before the Senate were to take up the aspect of his confirmation, before they were to hold hearings on the possibility of his confirmation, before they were to hold a vote. And we also know that Speaker Mike Johnson has said that the House Ethics Committee doesn't have jurisdiction in a way over Matt Gaetz anymore and doesn't have the ability to release this report because in Johnson's view, Matt Gaetz is no longer longer a member of the House, and therefore the House Ethics Committee doesn't have purview over matters related to Matt Gaetz because he's no longer a sitting member of Congress. This is potentially setting up a clash, Kira, between Republicans in the Senate who have said they want this report, or at least the salient facts in this report, and the House, which has said potentially that they don't want to release this. We'll all see what the committee says on Wednesday, but up until today, Kira, we had somewhat of a hazy picture of exactly what was in this report, and now we're learning key details about what this attorney alleges his client told these investigators and what presumably might be in this report, Kira.
Well, and you and I talked last week, even with our Rachel Bay, that even if the committee decides not to release this report, that more than likely someone's going to leak it anyway. So with all these allegations and other concerns about Gaetz as Attorney General, what does the path of confirmation look like for him at this point?
It was a potentially rocky path for Matt Gaetz, even without all of this House Ethics Committee investigation fervor. And that's because there have been senators who have said they don't like his temperament. They don't think he's qualified to be the Attorney General, putting aside these serious allegations that Gaetz has denied, but the House Ethics Committee has been investigating. They don't like the fact that he's been a political bomb thrower, the fact that he's branded himself a political firebrand, the ousting of Kevin McCarthy, for example. There are moderate Republican senators who say they have an issue with Matt Gaetz's political track record, not just these investigations into his personal life and allegations that, again, he has denied. So it was a rocky road to confirmation, save even this report potentially coming out. But obviously, senators have said they want the full picture into Matt Gaetz, and that's why they want to read this report.
Jay O'Brien, I think a lot of us want to see this report. Appreciate it. Thank you.